Hello, my name is Sarah, and at the age of 26 in November of 2021, I had a vertical sleeve gastrectomy, also known as VSG, also known as bariatric surgery. And today, I am going to be answering your questions about bariatric surgery. First and foremost, what procedure did I have? I had a vertical sleeve gastrectomy. What made me decide to get a VSG versus an RNY? An RNY is a gastric bypass. This is a somewhat complicated answer that I'm going to try to simplify. When you get the sleeve, you still absorb 100% of your calories. You just don't eat as much. When you get bypass, you only absorb 60% of your calories and you still don't eat very much. With bypass, you can run into an issue of vitamin deficiencies. You also can run into that with sleeve, but it's less likely. You lose more with bypass, but that is again because you're only absorbing 60% of the calories that you are consuming. I felt like if I was using this tool, I did not need to go to the extreme of bypass. I felt like if I was making the necessary diet and lifestyle changes to use this tool correctly, that I was going to be able to lose all the weight I needed to with just the sleeve. And I did. It was also a conversation between me and my doctor, and he agreed. What were you most worried about before having surgery that you think is silly now? I think all of my fears were perfectly valid. Mostly what I was afraid of was the surgery itself and something going wrong. And I think that that is a perfectly valid concern. Going under anesthesia and having them remove part of a vital organ is very scary, and that decision should not be taken lightly. Yeah, I don't think I had any unvalid concerns. For someone who has had it done 6 years ago but fallen into old habits, how do I get back? I find most of the people that I have spoken to that have fallen back into old habits, it's because you didn't do the mental work that you need to in order for your surgery to be successful and for you to use it as the tool is meant to be used as. So my suggestion is to go to therapy and then maybe get into a structured health program, maybe like my online coaching program, and do it in conjunction with therapy. Because I think a lot of the things that happen if we aren't doing both of those simultaneously is you don't realize the issues that you're having mentally trying to get back into a healthy lifestyle until you are actively trying to do it. And that's when you need therapy. You need to do it when you're going through it. How soon did you go to the gym after surgery? How often are you taking your vitamins? I started going to the gym about 4 weeks after surgery. Very lightweight under the instruction of my doctor. The only vitamins that I still take is my multivitamin. I take a teen multivitamin. How do you prevent eating disorders from creeping up when your life revolves around weight loss? Therapy, because it did creep up for me. And yeah, therapy was what helped me. I'm finally on the list. What's the aftercare long term? That's somewhat patient specific. Also, I don't know which surgery you're having, but ultimately you have to keep up with the diet and lifestyle changes. How much was it? I did not pay for it, my insurance covered it. What helped you emotionally? I'm afraid to be irritated or have mood swings. Again, therapy, but also about 2 months post-op, I was a little crazy. Here's something they don't warn you about. When you lose weight very rapidly, it messes with your hormones. And so I was severely depressed, and I would go from laughing to crying to screaming within that first 2 months, and I had to be on antidepressants for about 8 to 12 months. They say at about the 6-month mark is when your hormones start to regulate again. I'm 9 months post-op from Loop DS. That is a duodenal switch. I don't understand how that surgery works, but it is a form of bariatric surgery. How do I stay encouraged on this journey? The scale hates me. You have to understand when you lose weight, the scale is not going to be consistent with you, but you have to be consistent with yourself and not rely on the scale as your sole form of measuring your progress. But ultimately, again, this is a lifestyle change. If you went as far as surgery, you have to be committed to that. Even when you're not motivated to do it, you gotta do it still. What is VSG? VSG is a vertical sleeve gastrectomy, and it is where they take 80% of your stomach, including the part that holds the hormone called the ghrelin, which is what makes you feel hungry. They remove that, and then you're left with a banana shape for your stomach. Did you go through health insurance to have the surgery? I did. I had TRICARE at the time. I still have TRICARE because my husband was in the military. Could you have lost weight without surgery? I don't think so, based purely off of my history. I tried for many years and I would lose weight and then gain it all back plus some. I struggle with PCOS, and I think that that is a large reason why I was not successful without the surgery. I'm looking into getting this surgery and also have PCOS. What side effects did you have after surgery and still have? I still have all of my side effects of PCOS. The only thing that I don't deal with is the inability to lose weight or weight gain. That is the only one, but I still get hair on my face. I still have female pattern baldness. I still have all of my symptoms besides that one. It will not cure your PCOS, but it will help you with that one symptom. Have you experienced acid reflux more regularly? No. I actually experience it less than I used to, but I contribute that to my diet. I don't eat a lot of greasy or really spicy foods, so I think that's why I don't experience that as much as I used to. Does VSG last forever? Statistically, no. Many people don't lose weight at all, or they gain all their weight back, but again, that is based off of you committing to making lifestyle changes. Do you still separate your foods from your liquids? I do. I wait 30 minutes after I am done drinking my water or my protein shakes to eat. I eat with no beverages, and then I will wait 30 minutes after I'm done eating to start drinking my water again. The exception to this is when I'm at a restaurant. I don't know why, it's just very easy to sip and eat still when I'm at a restaurant because it's right there, but at home I still practice those bariatric rules. What was the hardest part of going through the pre and post-op diets? So I was on a liquid diet for 2 weeks pre-op, and then you're on a liquid diet 2 weeks post-op, and by about that 3rd week, I would have chewed on cardboard to have something to chew on. And so that was the hardest part. Once I got to the puree stage, I was like, just thank God it's not liquid. I am 2 days post-op. How'd you deal with the struggle of swallowing tablets and tummy pain? I'm gonna be honest, I did not have either of those issues. What was the most uncomfortable part after surgery? Gas pain. I did have gas pain. You just had to do a lot of walking to get that gas pain out. Did you lose muscle? How long did it take to build it back? I did not lose muscle. I started working out 6 months before surgery. I started strength training, and I strength trained all the way through surgery besides that 4-week period that I had to take off. And then I've strength trained ever since, and I am very good about my protein intake. So I did not lose muscle during that time. How do you break through a stall? I'm struggling. Stalls are very natural when you are losing weight. It is your body freaking out because your body does not want to lose weight, especially for those of us who struggle with things like PCOS and hormone conditions. Your body does not want to lose weight. And so when you're losing weight, your body's freaking out. It's natural, it's okay. It doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. I once stalled from June until October, and I did nothing different. The only thing that you need to do during a stall is not let it defeat you, and keep doing what you know you need to be doing and keep doing it consistently. One day I just stepped on the scale and I had lost 10 pounds after being stalled for about 6 months. I did nothing different besides being consistent. Somebody said, did it affect your coochie? Losing weight made it a little saggy, but I wouldn't say the surgery in and of itself affected my coochie. Do you have any scar tissue Or how did you avoid scar tissue? Any supplements? I think that you can't avoid scar tissue. I don't have any particular issues with the scar tissue that I have from my sleeve. And no, I did not take any supplements. Did you ever feel like using a tool like surgery was cheating? I'm feeling that and it's stopping me. Who cares? Honestly, who cares if you cheated? Do you want to live the life that you've been given for as long as you can and enjoy as many experiences as you can? Or do you want to struggle for years and years to lose weight and miss out on that life? All because you're so prideful that you feel like you cheated. If you're obese, then you have a medical condition and there is nothing wrong. There is no cheating in using a medical tool for a medical issue. My pride is never gonna get in the way. The only thing that I feel like I cheated was death. Do you struggle with your portions now after 3 years? How do you reach your protein? I never struggled with my protein intake. You just have to be diligent. I would literally set timers for every 2 hours to make sure I was getting some kind of protein in my body. And at this point, I just have a mental clock that does it. Do I struggle with portions? I definitely don't eat as slowly as I should, as I used to when I first had surgery. And so sometimes I struggle with eating too fast, which means sometimes I eat bigger portions than maybe I should. But honestly, that's kind of rare. From the start of your health journey to now, what has been the actual hardest thing? My mental health. And I've talked about that ad nauseum at this point, but it was my mental health. I think a lot of us forget that our mental health is part of our health. And when you are on a journey to better your physical health, you cannot forget your mental health. Are there any permanent side effects that you have to cope with or restrictions? No, the only restriction that I deal with, if I eat a lot of something that's really sugary, I get dumping syndrome. Honestly, you can look up the symptoms of dumping syndrome, but I get dumping syndrome if I eat a large amount of something really sugary, like half of a crumble cookie makes me feel like I want to die. But I can still eat those things, I just have to eat a little bit of it. Best advice for retraining sweet tooth brain: hunger every 2 to 3 hours. I'm 3 months post-op. Don't keep that stuff in your house because it increases the temptation to not only eat it, but actually follow through with that. I don't keep anything sweet in my house because I have a sweet tooth, terrible sweet tooth, and that is what I will eat too much of. So I don't keep any of that in my house. If I want it, I have to go out to the store and get it. And even then, I only get a serving size of it. So I'll go to like a gas station and get like one little Debbie cake. Hunger every 2 to 3 hours is normal for a bariatric patient and it's perfectly okay. You should be eating every 2 to 3 hours to make sure that you are getting the proper protein. Even now, I get hungry every 2 to 3 hours. I eat every 2 to 3 hours. I will be doing gastric bypass in December. How soon can I start working out again after? Honestly, I don't want to give that advice. You should ask your doctor. And honestly, he might not be able to tell you until you're post-op. What were your macros for gaining muscle? I'm struggling with gaining. You got to be diligent about getting your protein in. I was getting anywhere between 120 to 150 grams of protein probably by the time I was 6 months post-op, and that's how much I get now. How long post-sleeve did it take for you to reach your goal weight? I only had a goal weight when I was deep into my eating disorder. So I don't have a great answer for that because I didn't have one when I started losing weight. When I had surgery, I did not have a goal weight. I just wanted to be healthy. How long after surgery did you start working out and what were your energy levels like? I already answered that working out part, but my energy levels were low. You gotta take it slow because you're not eating a whole lot, so you don't have a lot of energy to expend, so you gotta take things slow. Was it scary to start? Hell yeah, it was absolutely scary. For those of us that have dealt with weight issues our whole lives, we have a deep fear, I think, of failing. Also, I was recording my entire journey, so I was also afraid that everybody was gonna watch me fall on my face. And I'm grateful that that's not what happened. How much food can you eat after 3 years? I don't really know how to answer that because I don't know if you're wanting volume-wise or calorie-wise. On my current diet, because I'm doing bodybuilding, I'm eating about 1,500 calories a day. If I can manage to get all of my food in, which does not happen very often if I'm being honest. So maybe about 1,300 or 1,400 calories a day. Where did you have your surgery done? I had my surgery with Dr. Ronald Atwater at Tenova in Clarksville, Tennessee. Would you say holding, cuddling, hugging your husband feels different being smaller? Yeah, because I feel small compared to him now, which is not something that I am used to. Being able to just feel him wrap his entire arm around me and like pull me in to cuddle in bed is a weird feeling that I am still not used to. Or him being able to like pick me up and hug me, not used to it. It makes me feel like a little princess, if I'm being honest. How are you able to eat so much? I had major restrictions even after 12 years. Again, I think everybody is different. Even with bariatric patients that sign up for my coaching program, I never assume what their restrictions are. I have them tell me because every bariatric patient is different. That's why some are able to regain and that's why some are not able to regain. Every bariatric patient is different. How to cut cravings when you emotionally eat. If you're emotionally eating, you need to go to therapy because you need to learn better coping mechanisms. My sleeve is in 3 weeks. I'm considering canceling for many reasons. Did you ever feel the same? Once I made that final decision to have surgery, I never looked back. I was ready to start my life. I also had a surgeon that I trusted, which made me feel confident in my decision. But you said you had many reasons. I don't know those reasons and they might be perfectly valid. So I don't want to invalidate your reasons, but I can tell you, for me personally, it was easily the best decision I ever made. What are challenges you faced post-op? Any complications like heartburn, anemia, IBS? I had no physical issues. The only issue that I had was, again, I had terrible mood swings about 2 months post-op. I was on antidepressants for almost a year, but eventually that all figured itself out. That is it. Those are all your questions. Thank you guys so much. If you are thinking about surgery, go to a consult, listen to a seminar, talk with your doctor. Your medical decisions are completely up to you. Sure, listen to my experience, listen to other people's experience so you can be educated. But if you just go to a seminar, if you just go to a consult, you're getting expert advice, expert knowledge. And that does not mean you have to go through with the surgery. So go, figure it out, listen to the experts. Me personally, it's the best decision I ever made because I have lived more life in the past 3 years than I ever did in the 26 before it. And that decision has changed my life in so many incredible ways, from my career path, my physical health, my quality of life. It has led me to all of you. And I am so grateful every day that I made that decision and took back my life and cheated death.